Welcome to the I Am Different series. If you've been around our program long enough, you notice that there's something different. I Am Third is not the world's way of doing things. In fact, as college basketball moves towards a me first narrative, we are doubling down on I Am Third. We want to take you behind the scenes and show you some of our former players who are doing big things in our world through I Am Third in the game of basketball. It's God first, others second, yourself third. The unique and cool thing about it is if you have that perspective, it comes back around to benefit you.
Let's have it for the national champ! For the national champ! For the national champ! Unbelievable!
IWUHoops presents The Pursuit. Go inside the locker room as IWUHoops trades the pursuit of me for the pursuit of three.
This podcast is supported by Momentum Labs. As a college basketball coach, I know that having the right mindset is the key for players to reach their full potential. That's why I'm excited about our partnership with Momentum Labs, a group of mental performance coaches that have worked with athletes at the highest level of sport. For more information, go to momentumlabs.coach and check them out.
Welcome to another episode of the Pursuit Podcast. I'm Jeff Clark, the Associate Head Basketball Coach, and joined by IWU alum Luke Stevens, freshly back from his first time coaching in the Summer League. We're here at the Pacers facility. Talk first about what you've been up to and what was that like actually being on the bench for the Summer League games?
No, it was a great experience. So I finished up my time at Indiana Wesleyan and then was fortunate enough to get a position here with the Pacers and finish my first season here. It was a great experience going to the Eastern Conference Finals, just getting to learn from a lot of great people, a lot of great basketball minds, and then I was presented the opportunity to be on the Summer League staff. So just getting to see the game up close, getting to see how the coaches like to make in-game adjustments, how to prepare for games with scouts and everything. It was just a great opportunity to learn and just see the game up close for sure.
One of the things I love about your journey this year, I think back only a year ago, and you're in your final year with us, and we're spending a lot of time talking because you're frustrated because you're injured and you're dealing with all that. But even during your senior year, you're talking about how you're just feeling this call to coaching, and even the injuries preparing you for coaching. And then to end up in the NBA, wouldn't it even been something on your radar? And to get a year in, it's really amazing to see how God has brought so many of those things to life. So, go back to that time and just maybe what you experienced going through that year, but then how it set you up for going into this year.
For sure. No, it was definitely tough in the moment, my last year playing basketball and just being out with injury a lot, but it kind of made me realize that, the other side of playing was coming a lot faster than I anticipated. So, with the help of you guys, you guys were awesome, giving me different coaching responsibilities at my time at IWU. I remember watching film with you a lot. I think I helped with some different scouts and recruiting. So, I was thankful to have you guys to help me, grow as a coach, and then also kind of connect me to different coaches. And then obviously, having Joel here with the Pacers, I wouldn't have had this position without the help of him and the help of you guys. So, like you said, it was an opportunity, far greater than I could have imagined. And, I'm just trying to take it one day at a time and, just do my best work every day. So just really thankful for the people around me that, helped me get to this spot for sure.
I love whenever we talk to the Pacers coaches or front office, because whenever they talk about you and Joel, they say they're just different. There's something about them. And do you have more guys like these guys, right? So if you go back to, obviously says a lot about you, but there's something about Indiana Wesleyan that's different, right? So if, from your experience, what was it that was unique about your experience there?
Yeah, I think as a player, your natural instinct is to always think about yourself first, right? You're always concerned about your playing time. You're always concerned about how many points you're scoring, which is natural and it's okay. But I think at Indiana Wesleyan, the fact that it's that you're really wanting to put other people first, right? That's kind of the main approach of the team and, of each player. And I think that's just way different than what, people are hearing their whole basketball lives, right? From coming from high school where everybody's the best player, to all the different schools that are recruiting them, telling them like how they want to use you, how they want to make you better. Where I remember like talking to you guys in high school, it was all about, you know, look, we're different. It's God first, others second, right? Like your time here, your success here is going to be measured by how you make other people better. And I think that's way different. And I know this your first year being in the NBA, like my time at Indiana Wesleyan really helped grow me in that aspect. And I tried to take that same outlook on, you know, I want my success in my first year in the NBA to be measured by, you know, how I helped make our players better, how I helped our coaches make their jobs a little easier, just how I try to make the team better every day. So,
one of the conversations you and I have had a lot is the level of player that you played with at Indiana Wesleyan is crazy.
Yeah,
like you played with some great players. And if I go back, I know part of our fear is, man, if we go this way, can we get elite players? But man, it's just, the level just keeps getting higher and higher in terms of who we've been able to recruit. So talk about that. You've obviously seen basketball at the highest level.
Yeah.
But there were some good guys that you played with
sure.
during your time.
Yeah, I remember day one, you know, we had an open gym, and I just remember like this is another level, right? Like the speed of the game. Like I've known Kyle since high school. People on the Pacers right now say Joel is an NBA level defender. You know what I mean? So guys like that. Evan Maxwell came from Kansas. He's had a great pro career. The list goes on and on, right? Like even our role players, you know, had amazing high school careers. I think it's a stigma, right? That if you go somewhere that's not a D1, that the level goes down. But like, I mean, I think my time at Indiana Wesleyan, like even not just our team, but even some of the level we were playing in the Crossroads, right? Like I remember the Indiana Wesleyan Marion games my freshman year. Like those are some dudes on the court, you know what I mean? So, I think it's a big stigma, and I just know from my time spent at IWU to be able to get on the court, be a part of the team, like you got to have real game and you got to play the game the right way. So yeah, I was super thankful, and just being around those guys made me a better player too.
As you look now at basketball in general, seeing it at the highest level, but you're connected in so many ways. You're just a basketball guy, so you know people all over. No, we really just believe, as it seems like especially college basketball is becoming more and more transactional, IAM30 is needed more than ever. Just that attitude translates to all levels.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about how that, now that you've experienced it in a different way and you're not Indiana Wesleyan, what are you seeing there?
For sure. I think the biggest thing I would say is when your focus is on yourself and what you can get out of the situation, and when you're just focused on me, I think it's like a fleeting joy, and it's hard to find true happiness and contentment and just fulfillment in the game. Like I know even my first year in the NBA, like just being away from the IWU culture, like there was times where it probably became about me too much, and like I know firsthand, like those were my least favorite parts of the season. And I know from my time at Indiana Wesleyan and here with the Pacers, the times where I've just been focused on trying to help others, trying to do things the right way. That's the most fulfillment, the most joy, and the best I've done at the actual job. So I think just going to Indiana Wesleyan, it's the culture, it's the expectation, it's a standard that's set that we're going to measure our success by how much we help others grow, how much we want to see others succeed, and that's just going to prepare you for the rest of your life. Because even outside of the locker room, right, like in your family, whatever type of work you go into, like that's just the best way to live. So
one of the things that was really neat to hear when you were out in Vegas at the Summer League, you came back and said, hey, you were meeting people and there was a familiarity with Indiana Wesleyan and what makes the place different.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit more about that, what you think people are seeing there.
Yeah, I think, when people ask me where I went, where I played at in college, when you say Indiana Wesleyan, you're always, at first you're kind of unsure if they know just because it's a smaller school, but I would almost see people's eyes light up when I would tell them about Indiana Wesleyan, and they were always curious and wanted to ask just because, they're familiar with the success our program's had in the last decade or so, but also they just wanted to ask about the culture and just ask me about my experience and how that kind of prepared me for the league too. So it was cool to give them that insight and tell them about you, Coach Tonagel, and just how the culture really helped prepare me for the NBA as well. So
last question, the one we've been asking, you get into that situation and say, what's different about Indiana Wesleyan? What do you say?
I would say just the overall approach to building a team culture, right? I think the coaching staff at Indiana Wesleyan does the best in the business at just uniting a group of men towards a common goal, and just the approach of it being sometimes not even basketball related, right? Like I know sometimes when I was a player and I was struggling, like you wouldn't ask me about basketball related things, you would, connect with me and help me grow as a person. And same with the team, right? Like some of our scouts weren't even connected to basketball sometimes. It was more, how can we unite these group of guys towards a common goal? And because of that, I still have bonds with my teammates, and I'm confident I'll have those for life. So,
well, we're rooting you on, whether you end up being an NBA head coach or wherever. We know you're going to be elevating people wherever you go. So thanks, man, for sharing with us, and we're proud of you, man.
Sir.